Okay, while the quinoa and the eggs are going, I wanted to get the crock pot ready. I use these slow cooker liners. Um, I will link them in the description below as well. They're better than buying them in the store, the grocery store. You can if you want, obviously, but you get 20 bags. Oh gosh, I don't even remember how much it was. Very good price for this, okay? And then the crock pot. I must tell you about this crock pot. My sister sent it to me. I was using a 5-quart crock pot, and you can make this amount of dog food in the 5-quart crock pot, but it's really, really, really full. And I usually make a double amount. I'm halving this recipe today, but this is a Hamilton Beach 9.5-quart crock pot that my sister gifted me. I like the lid because you can clamp it down. Gosh, I hope you can see this. Maybe on the other side, you can clamp it down like this. And I believe it was $59 or $69, I'm not sure, on Amazon. But what I do is I take the lid off and I use one of these liners. I still wash the crock part of the crock pot, but I like to use these liners. They come in a big thing like this, and they actually feel really flimsy. And I was kind of worried about that when I first got this brand on Amazon. However, I used them and they're great. And I don't have to go and buy them, because the ones in the grocery store, maybe they have them different in the grocery store where you guys are. But the ones in the grocery store, I believe you only get 4 of them. This has 20. Okay, so here we go. I am just going to, see how flimsy this feels? It's really not though. I'm just going to line the crock pot with this. And these liners, if you do decide to get them, they do work on the 10-quart, maybe even larger. They're pretty large. Sometimes they don't tell you what quart size they work on. They just say extra large liners. Okay, so we have this ready, okay? Now the first thing that I put in here for the ingredients that go in the crock pot for Azula's dog food is blueberries. And again, I just buy the frozen blueberries. And I just put 2 cups in the bottom of the crock pot. Okay. We all know how good blueberries are for you. They have a lot of antioxidants and nutrients for your dog. The next thing I'm going to put in there is 1 bag, and this is a 16-ounce bag. The recipe does call for 2 15-ounce bags, but this is all I could find. You can make your own turnips if you want, but I use the frozen turnip greens with the diced turnips in there. Diced turnips are not toxic to dogs. I looked it up. So I just, again, it's frozen, and I just open it up and pour it into the crock pot. Okay, the next thing, and I did forget to add this to the list in the initial photo, but you need 1 10-ounce bag of shredded carrots, matchstick carrots. You can shred them yourself and just buy whole carrots, save a little bit of money. I just buy these for convenience sake. And for this recipe, you just need 1 10-ounce bag. So I'm going to put that in there. I haven't tried frozen carrots. The original recipe from This Mess Is Ours says shredded carrots. I'm sure you could use frozen ones. Just use the same amount. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do before I do anything else And I like to use a bag for this. Excuse the mess. I hope you can see this okay. Is I'm going to go ahead and put one of these in the crock pot. This is 1 pound of ground sirloin. It's 90% lean with 10% fat. And our grocery store here, if you live in Texas, you have heard of H-E-B, the best grocery store on the planet, in my opinion. But you just need 2 pounds of ground sirloin. Again, you can buy sirloin and grind it yourself. It's just so much easier to buy it pre-packaged. If you don't have tubes like this in your grocery store, then just buy it by the pound. And so how I open this, pretty rudimentary actually, is I put it on this bag also because it is raw meat, so I don't want to touch it. And I'm just going to squeeze it into the crock pot. There will be time later for stirring all of this up and clump it, and it's not going to come out clumped at all. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is 2 ingredients that are very important. Is 1/4 cup of hemp hearts, shelled hemp seeds. You can get these on Amazon as too. I'll link the description below. And 1/4 cup of milled chia seeds. Again, I get these at H-E-B. Sometimes if I don't place my order on Amazon in time. And you don't need organic unless you want to. Unless you do everything organically, and that's fine. I'm just turning off my eggs and my quinoa. So I'm just going to add 1/4 cup of chia seeds and just sprinkle it around. I'm also going to add 1/4 cup of hemp hearts. Okay. There we go there. And we'll go ahead and add this 2nd pound of ground sirloin. See, that's why I put it on a grocery bag, because I can just fold it up and toss it. I still clean up my mess though. I am going to take this metal spoon and I'm going to break up my meat a little bit in here just to flatten it out a little bit. There's plenty of time for stirring it again, like I said, later, but I just like to flatten it out a little bit. No need to stir up all these frozen ingredients or the other ingredients anyway. They will all get mixed and combined well. If you do a lot of crock pot cooking, which actually I don't, you know that you just throw it all in there basically and then stir it up later after it's cooked or in the middle of cooking. Okay? Now we're going to get rid of that. The final thing is you're going to need 16 ounces of green beans. I buy the frozen green beans. I buy the big bag right here. There's 5-pound bags you can buy at your grocery store. There's also, you can buy them at Costco. That happened to be where I purchased the eggs this time. Eggs are getting a little expensive, right? And so I did measure these at first. And they also do make 16-ounce bags of green beans if you want to make sure that you're putting in the right proportion. I happen to know how much is in 16 ounces now that I've done this for so long. So this is a leftover. This was leftover from the last time I made her food. And I'm just going to pour all of this onto the top of the bag. of the pot. Let me get my thing out. Okay, then we have this. The last thing is, let me get a measuring spoon. The last thing is you need 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, good quality olive oil, and it has to be olive oil, please. Don't buy the sunflower oil or the vegetable oil or any other kind of oil, not avocado oil, which is everybody's using these days because it is really good for you, I get that. But I'm giving you the ingredients that the original recipe is from, okay? And that's important. So 6 tablespoons of good quality olive oil. Oops. There you go. All right. Now, as far as the ingredients that go in the crock pot, that's it. And see why I love this? You just clamp it down. My other crock pot was great, but it didn't have this on it, and I had to keep it pressed down once again because it was full up to the top, and then I would put a towel over it to try to keep it warm. This crock pot, I put this on high, all right, and I check it every few hours. It doesn't really need to be checked till the end of cooking time. You want to make sure that your hamburger meat, your sirloin, is completely cooked, okay? And it needs to cool off to room temperature. Now, at the end, when it's all said and done, it's another reason why I love this huge crock pot. And I really do recommend getting one. But if you can't, hey, no worries. But what I do after this is finished is, and it's cooled off, is I add the whole entire pot of quinoa. Do you see how it's soaked up all the water and it's still really hot? You can see the steam coming off of it. So it's just going to stay on the stove until this afternoon when the ingredients from the crock pot are ready. So then I put this entire pot into the crock pot, and the only reason I do this is to stir it because I have room in the crock pot. It's big and it's huge, and I can stir everything around, and then I put it in bowls like this, okay? And you're supposed to feed your dog 1 cup for every 10 pounds of dog weight, okay? The thing I do with the eggs is a little bit different than what they do at This Mess Is Ours on that website, is they go ahead and mix the eggs in with all of the ingredients. I don't. I just peel the eggs, and then I give Azula 1 egg, almost 1 egg a day, okay? And instead of mixing them in with the dog food. But the original recipe is everything gets mixed in with the dog food. On This Mess Is Ours, it will have all the nutritional information down at the bottom of the recipe, and it will have all the ingredients for the recipe, and it will have how much you feed your dog per day for what their weight is. Our dog Azula, because she's been sick, has actually she had gained some weight, which at the time the vet and us, we did not mind that because she had not been eating at all. But she technically needs to be between 45 and 50 pounds. She's at 54 pounds right now. So she's almost down to her ideal weight. And she, again, is thriving on this food. Her skin and coat are beautiful. Her teeth are great. I had blood work done on her, a whole entire panel on her vitamin levels, her liver enzymes, her iron or hemoglobin, all of that done, and all of the levels were great. And so I just had that done just to double check and make sure we were doing right by our dog. So this This is like I said, half of the recipe. I halved it. The thing is I just keep it in these bowls in the refrigerator and feed her every day. And half of this recipe right here that I just made for you usually lasts me 7 days. And maybe sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But it usually lasts 7 days. If you do the whole entire recipe, you can always portion them out and freeze them. Like if you're going on a vacation, you're taking your puppy dog with you, then I suggest using these freezer quart-sized bags, Ziploc bags, and portioning them out for once a day. You know, like for instance, our dog would have 4.5 cups a day for her ideal weight of 45 pounds. So she would get between 4.5 cups to 5 cups, and I would put it in the Ziploc bag and freeze it. And then it's easy to pull out if you're going on vacation. Sometimes if you go on a vacation, you stay in a dog-friendly hotel, they have those horrid mini fridges. They serve their purpose and everything, but if they're frozen, if the ingredients are frozen, at least you can get them into the refrigerator, and they'll stay fresh for more than a week, obviously. Again, if you have any questions, any comments, please send them to me, and I'll be happy to answer them if I can. Please visit this Mess Is Ours website. They have lots of dog-friendly recipes. They also have a lot of human food recipes that are good for you. And it's a really cool website to peruse through. But for now, check all my links in the description below. Please like and subscribe to this channel for more about our dog Azula and our daily life with her. And I will see you again in the next one.